Okay, so let's see, you are shorter than I am, so I'm just gonna,
Stop! I'm just gonna stand up here. I would have great calves.
You have great calves, and I'm just gonna be in a nice squat position the entire time. Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse, and I'm here with Nicole Woodard of Mobility Athletes, and I have been on a zoological mission lately, and I spotted this in the wild. And if you take, we're taking a look at this this observation.
Is that an ancient man?
Is
that a Coomer?
I think, judging by his structure and
the
beard, oh my God, that is definitely primitive. And we've got some issues with posture here.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, luckily this obviously is not me, because I would be embarrassed to show this in front of people. It's some other person who is not me, probably. And so
notice that his arm, the man's arms look really long because his shoulders are so far forward that his hands are almost touching his knees.
I'm thinking those knuckles, if not for the fact there was water, they would be dragging on the ground.
They would, yeah.
So today, one of the things that one of the many talents that Nicole has, she's a physical therapist, a trainer, absolutely amazing when it comes to getting people who, like this poor man, have issues. So today we're going to talk through my issues as we fix Jesse. Let's talk about it today. Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse, and today we are talking about, okay, I'll admit it, it was actually me in the picture. It was, and it was I was tired that day, and anyway, so so I have an issue that this is something that actually has driven me to actually see Nicole quite a bit, because I have a lot of injuries and I didn't know what the problem was. And Nicole has I've been, oh, Nicole, please console me. Why is it that I keep hurting myself? And then she actually had a logical, rational reason.
There's always a logical, rational reason. Everybody freaks out when there's injuries, and you think it's like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't keep being active. My life is ending.
Yeah.
All these things are happening, and it's not true.
So I shouldn't stop exercising?
No. Keep exercising.
Okay. All right. I shouldn't completely become sedentary.
No. Could you imagine what that picture would look like if you were sedentary?
That's true. That's probably.
I mean, you probably wouldn't be frolicking into a pond in a Speedo.
If it could look worse, it would look worse at that point. I got you. Okay.
But, people don't understand that we think about professional baseball players, and we never think twice if they get injured during a season. We're like, oh, that sucks, but that's their career. But the more reps we do when we're physically active, whether we're in sport, whatever kind of sport we're doing, however we're training in the gym, you are an athlete and it's so important. But as you get those reps, you're more likely to get little injuries, and especially if things aren't lined up quite like they're supposed to, because we don't interact with our environments much anymore.
Right.
We don't run around, and we don't chase things, and we don't practice good posture all the time. We're not squatted down on the ground over a fire anymore.
Right.
So those things aren't opened up, which leads to, as we train, sometimes these little tweaks and injuries that are not a big deal.
But they can really get a person down, and they can also, they hurt, and that sucks, right? So my issue is what is my primary issue? And this is one of the things that I do want to stress, is that I actually did come to see Nicole in a professional manner. It wasn't like she just looked at that picture and said, oh, here's your issue, okay? So just so you know. But what is the issue that I'm struggling with?
So your actual diagnosis
yes.
Is impingement syndrome.
Yeah.
So, and we have clinical predictive rules. So essentially the research tells us when we get a certain amount of tests that are positive,
right,
with the way that you move your shoulder, when it hurts, whether it's weak or not, that we know with about 90% certainty that that's what you have going on. The great news about that is that I did a bunch of other tests and scientifically knew that you don't have a rotator cuff tear.
Which was actually what I was really afraid of, because I was having a lot of pain in, actually it was this side, but I had a lot of pain back here. A lot of the diagnostic things that I had done, just looking out on the internet, I was like, I think I've got a serious problem here. And so I was really relieved. Yeah, I was very relieved. So we did a lot of things. I left with a lot of bruises and things being poked into me. We did cupping that day.
We did cupping to open up. So a lot of times whenever we have impingement or we have these forward rounded shoulders.
Yeah, and so that's the issue that I still struggle with even now. It's not like everything's gone. It's something that I still continue to work with.
You and me both do.
Yeah, it's
yeah. But so you have to find out, do those shoulders round forward because you're weak? Do they round forward because your mid back is really tight? Is that a joint problem? Is it a muscle problem? Is it a neck issue going on, like a lack of stability? So for you, as we went through all of your movement screening, we found that it was tight through your mid back here. So we had muscle issues going on here that were limiting movement. So his spine actually moved pretty well. We needed some stability and awareness there with his shoulder blades, but really it was muscle wise. So that's why we did the cupping. So we lifted those tissues. I always do myofascial decompression, which is cupping with movement. Then we did some dry needling. So, which was awesome.
I don't find it as painful as a lot of people are like, wasn't that, you're getting stabbed with a needle, and I hate needles, just being honest, and I don't find it to be that bad. So.
And with dry needling, the thing is that it gives you, the reason that we do dry needling early and in this situation was because it actually decreases your pain and your inflammatory causing chemicals by up to 50% in the first 24 hours. So you get this massive reset, which makes people feel really good, makes people come back and say, hallelujah, Nicole. It's not really me, it's just the needle and how your body reacts, because we're really, really good healers. And so what we do from there is that allows that big change. Then we start programming corrective exercises, which is what Jesse has been working on.
Yes.
And how you actually fix the problem. So manual stuff is great. I'm a very big hands-on therapist, but you can't just do that. You've got to follow it up with changing this posture, changing the way you move. Like, you guys can see from the picture, I don't know, I'm like a physical therapist, I look at all sorts of weird stuff, but you can see his shoulder blade sticking out to the side. Because he was so rounded forward.
I was flexing my gut out too. That was like my chest was in my, it was awful.
That's good stuff.
That's why if you follow me on Instagram, I did not share that picture. It was not the most flattering thing. But yeah, so one of the things is I find that, and some of the advice that you gave me was pulling motions, and so if a person has this issue, of course, obviously they need to have an expert take a look. But what are some likely causes of maybe, and this is not something that happened overnight, in other words, right?
No. Usually, so it's the things that we talked about diagnostically. So usually tight mid-back, so sitting too much. So this thoracic spine through here gets really tight. So lack of awareness. These shoulder blades, they peel off. So stick your arm behind your back for me. Yep. So you guys can see, even with the shirt on, how this peels away just a little bit. Doesn't stay congruent to get that range of motion. Also, it can be your neck. So a lack of stability through your neck can really cause some of that pain and some of that lack of strength in the back. And we sit all the time. I mean, Jesse's freaking active as can be, but we still spend a lot of time. I mean, he's writing a really cool book, all sorts of good stuff. Take a look at the
links below.
But we're sitting more than we probably want to be or need to be. And so what happens is that your body is so freaking amazing. What it does is that it adapts super fast. It's why we are one of the most amazing species to ever be on this planet, because we adapted so quickly. What that means is when you sit in a chair for 6 hours, it finds the easiest way to sit in that darn chair, which means nothing. No activation of your core, no activation of your back. You just hang on these ligaments, hang on your joints, because you don't have to do any work, which means you can conserve calories, which means that if we have some huge pandemic happen, that we can respond because we have all these stored up calories. We've been efficient, we've been safe. But what that happens in our society is that it leads to things like impingement, because we're doing that all the time with no break from it. We have no reason to break from it.
Yeah.
And so our adaptations and how quickly you evolve has actually started fighting against us, which is why you gotta train. One of the best things that I've ever been told, and this is about like personal development, is that if you're saying yes to that thing in front of you, you're saying no to everything else. When you are training, like you guys are training every single day. Like you are an athlete, no matter whether you want to be or not, whether you stake the claim or not, you are, because you're training all day, every day. You choose how you train. And so you need to train, Jesse trains about sleep, you train about breath work, train about recovery. I train about like being in the gym, being a strength coach, and also a recovery specialist in how you move. Like you're still training all those things that Jesse and I are teaching you.
Right.
We're just teaching you how to do it optimally. And if you're not doing that, you're training a different way. You're still training, like you're still an athlete. You're just not becoming a very good one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I'm there. Like.
Well, and that's the thing when it comes to breathing and all the things that I teach. It's not like, hey, I've perfected it and now I can speak from the top of the mountain. It's something that we both have to train, we both have to practice. It's a practice, and that's how, as long as we're alive, that's going to be the way it is. So
we are on the dawn wall.
Yeah.
Scrapping, helping each other.
That's what it is, really collaboration.
It really is, yeah.
So if you want to know more about Mobility Athletes, Nicole Woodard's program, all the cool things that she does, take a look at the links below, and she can even set up a time to do an online consultation. She did this for me, even set up a really cool program with an app that I'm able to look at every day. Take a look at the stuff I need to do that day. It doesn't take that long, and before you know it, this will start turning into no, I'm just kidding. Not we're not hyper.
We don't want to be
I'll
hyper.
turn into this, no. But it'll start turning into the thing that it should look more like. So next time I go to Poland, when I take that picture, hopefully, as long as I keep up with my training, it'll look a lot better. So thanks everybody. Thank you, Nicole, for all the advice.
Thank you, Jesse.
And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to go out there and be nice to people.